Damn.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jazzie Belle here for Women in Hip Hop. And listen, as you can see, I'm so excited. I have one of the dopest MCs in the world, not just female MC. Don't get it twisted. Dopest, period. 3-time Grammy nominated star. We got Rapsody in the building. What's up, Rapsody?
What up? What up? So we out here in the streets. This is how we do it. This is some real hip hop stuff right here. I love it.
Yeah, we bringing it back.
Straight up.
Women in Hip Hop, we keeping it
Hits
thorough.
in the street.
We ain't in the street, we in the streets.
Come on. Bars. Double entendres.
Bars. Listen, just being from Snow Hill, North Carolina, to headlining your own tour, how does that feel right now for you, if you could speak on that?
Man, it feels dope just to think about where I started from, growing up in Snow Hill, just being a dream and me not seeing that I could walk it.
Yes.
And then having that passion to step out and then to go through all the ups and downs, the process, the valleys, the peaks,
Yes.
you know, to be here in LA at a rite of passage at the El Rey, headlining my own tour with two amazingly dope, phenomenal women. Like, we celebrating black women. You know, it just shows to go that anything you envision and put your mind to, you can do, and to bring people with you.
Yes. And you've been the embodiment of that throughout your whole career, just allowing other women to shine along your own star shining as well. Before I get into that, because what I like to do with this podcast is just to give somewhat of a backstory so people can truly be inspired. Snow Hill, 1,600 population.
Something
Is it
like that,
some light? Some real light. How was it for Lil Rapsody growing up there when it comes to like the hip hop scene and just wanting and knowing your star is going to shine eventually? Just how was that for you?
I didn't know it was gonna shine. I wanted it to shine. I had a dream, but you know, there wasn't a lot of hip hop that was displayed out in the open where I was from. You know, it was sports, going to church, going to school, hanging out, doing what kids do. I didn't go to my first hip hop show till I was in college. Yeah. There was no place for me to go. It wasn't like, you know, like a big city, New York, like country fields or whatever. The little bit of taste I got was like on the back of the bus, cats freestyling or going to somebody's house and they started a cypher, but seeing a real hip hop show. I saw that through TV. Everything was through TV, so it was a dream, but I didn't know if it was attainable because it wasn't like I could go out in my backyard. You hear stories of like cats that they growing up is like, yo, I saw Biggie when he was walking down the street and shooting videos of Pac. I didn't see any of that. And so, you know, it was just something that I used all my imagination for, to see myself there.
Who was the concert? What was the concert that you attended?
The first one, it was NC State. Common came through.
Common, shout out. That's what's up.
Straight up, that was the first one. So.
Now, who was it for you as far as representation? Because you know that's very important for us. Who was it for you that you saw doing their thing in hip hop that inspired you to say, okay, this is what I want to do?
MC Lyte was the first one. Poor Georgie video. Queen Latifah. UNITY, Just Another Day. Lauryn Hill, people know, is one of my biggest influences. You know, I listen to Nas, Memory Lane's one of my favorite songs. Jay-Z's another one of my biggest influences. Common, Mos Def. Missy Elliott, like, Lost Boys, Wu-Tang, Method Man, Mary J. Blige, like all of them. I fed off of all of them.
Now, one thing that I like about your music, especially for me, is that you speak to the impact on how I was growing up, just being a brown-skinned, dark-skinned sister. You speak a lot on colorism. I told you when I saw you at the carpet, I don't know if you remember, it was the Bad Boy carpet for life with Will and Martin, and I said that I wrote a book, and it focuses on self-esteem, love and relationships, and spirituality. And what I do is I give 48 of my favorite bars from female rappers that inspired me, and I feel that would inspire the youth coming up. And the first is just so that I'm here with the book, so I'm gonna read your bar that I feel still inspires me today, and I'm sure coming up will inspire young girls. It was from Black and Ugly. And the subchapter is called Never Succumb to Colorism. And the bar goes, as you know, black and ugly as ever, and still nobody fine as me. No one been as kind as me. Ain't no kinds of me. Told niggas I'm one. What is it? Yep. And told niggas they want it done. And only one kind of me. I'm already better than what you niggas still trying to be. Okay, that. If you could just speak to that and how was it for you just growing up and it was another bar that I feel embodied what I know I went through and what other girls coming up feel. It's like, yeah, they call me black and ugly, but I go so hard, make the whole world love me. Yeah. Who called you black and ugly? And what just tap into that experience and how did you get the whole world to love you?
I mean, growing up, I was raised in a beautiful village where we all like my aunts would praise each other. They would praise us as cousins. We would praise each other. They still praise me. It wasn't until I left Snow Hill and I got out into the world and I went to NC State where it's just like, you know, you meet guys and I had never really experienced this. It's like, yo, you trying to holler and you like, nah, I'm good. And it was like, well, you ain't no 10 though. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. And then I got into the music business and you get into social media and that's where I felt it the most. You know, Rapsody will never make it because she's not pretty enough or yo, she ugly or she's this or, you know, it was always something. And I used to feed and read it all, you know. And, you know, for me, it was just a way for me to be like, to learn. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, this is amazing. Like, what happened to us? Where is this coming from? Why do we look at ourselves and each other? Because I'm just a reflection of you at the end of the day.
At the end of the
day, so if you're calling me ugly, then that goes for your mama and everybody else. But, you know, it took me a while to process what was happening, why it was happening. At the end of the day, it really wasn't about me. You know,
it was about them.
Indeed. And, you know, I had to look and I'm just like, everything that you may call us ugly for and, you know, our skin tone and complexion, everybody else that don't look like us, that's what they want to look like.
Yeah.
You know, they want bigger lips. They go in tan. They want to be, you know, a certain shade. So it's like, you know, love yourself.
Yeah.
And I can't let anybody define what that is for me. I have to believe it for myself first and define it for myself.
Yeah.
And then you can't penetrate me after that.
Yeah. Yeah, we love that. Thanks for repping hard for that. I mean, you have women that came out prior to you, Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, The Brat. And I know you know some of these women. Have you gotten any advice from them to kind of let you know that what you're doing is right, stay on the right path? You don't have to conform to that over-sexualized image that the industry kind of puts on female rappers to be.
I mean, for the most part, they all tell me to keep doing what I'm
doing.
I asked Light for advice. She was like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, you know, the same with Queen. Like, Queen is always giving me advice. But I think I learned so much through them by watching them and through their music. Yeah. That it's like, I already know what they would say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I always ask you never know what new thing you're going to learn. Yeah. But that part, they taught me throughout so many years. So it's already ingrained in me. And that's who I mirror myself after. And those are the footsteps that, you know, I look to and for examples of even how to get this far. Like, I wouldn't have made it here if they didn't lay that path for me mentally. Yeah. You know, and in my self-esteem and self-love. So.
I love that. Now, speaking of people that did believe in you, you have Ninth Wonder, who you signed to along with Rock Nation. And speaking of giving advice, you see what's happening recently with Megan Thee Stallion, your mate, I guess you could say, with Rock Nation. And one of the bars that you spit, I forgot what song it was. You
Layla's
said,
Wisdom.
When you said I read every contract, every clause, something. You know your bars. I'll be spitting your bars all day. Trust me, I have to study your lyrics.
I know it.
I also know that I've read somewhere or saw an interview where you said you don't have a contract with Ninth Wonder.
I don't.
Talk to me just about, like, if you can, tap into, like, what Megan is going through. Do you feel, just being a woman in hip-hop, that the industry kind of preys on female artists
I think they prey.
Manipulate?
I think they prey on anybody.
Okay. Do you think they do it more with the women versus the men?
Are we talking about business and contracts? I would have to say that, you know, based on just how women are looked at, you know, when it comes to this patriarchy system, of course they're going to look at you like, you don't know, this is a man's world sometimes, with some men, not all. That, you know, I think that does happen. So I think there's that side, and I think there's also the side of anybody that we can try to get over on, we're going to do it. And a lot of times it's nobody's fault at the end of the day. Like, a lot of people come in young to this, you know, and if you didn't have nobody to tell you, like, you know, what to look out for, to get a lawyer, to make sure you read and study and understand everything. Of course, like, we all learning is a process. So now I see people saying, oh, it's Megan's fault. It's nobody's fault. Like, she's 20 years old. Like, at the end of the day, like, she didn't have nobody necessarily to prepare her for that. So we all learn and we all make mistakes, but that's a part of learning. And I think now, though, she's still gonna be all right, because, you know, you see that through the years she has learned. She has a good team around her. She's with Rock Nation, so I know she has good management, and they gonna figure it out for her. Like, I saw today that you know, she sued
1501.
Yep, 1501, and they allowed her to release her song. So you know,
there's always loopholes around this,
right? And what's dope about it is she took what happened to her and she got on live and she said, look, y'all, don't make the mistake I did. Make sure you know, get a lawyer. Make sure you understand and that's what it's about. That's what we should focus on. Like, okay, this happened. Let's use it to educate each other. And you know, so it's
each one.
You
hate
that it happened to her, but you know, because of her, it won't happen to another one, and she's gonna make sure of that. So,
like
you
Hope
know,
said, I did that, so hopefully you ain't gotta go through that.
You ain't gotta go through that. Exactly. So, you know. And she's not the only example. You know, we've seen this with men, women. Like, a lot of people sign bad contracts. You know, whether they're not informed properly or they just don't know the language.
Right.
Because, you know, that language can be really confusing. You could read one thing and it may read to you another way, but in legal terms, it can have a whole nother meaning. So, you know, it's just very layered, but, you know, I know she's going to figure it out because she's smart. She got a strong team, you know, and I hope that people are learning from, you know, all of us.
Yeah. Now, before you go, it's going down, your tour.
Yes.
Eve, the album. This is Women's History Month. March. And like I said, you are the epitome of that, especially with this album. Let me just, a couple of titles. Nina. Cleo, which I love. You busting shots at a lot of people that deserve it.
Thank you.
Aaliyah, when you talk about just embracing your tomboyish ways. I love that. Oprah, Whoopi, Serena, Tyra, Maya, Angelou. I mean, it just goes on and on. Do you have a favorite record off the album that speaks to you?
It's hard because they all pieces of me. You know, different days, different feelings, different emotions, but they all represent me. I was able to tell how each one of these women spoke to me and spoke to a different side of me and energy. But if I really had to choose one, it would probably be Nina. Because at the end of the day, at the core, at the root of who I am as an artist, I feed off of her quote, it's an artist's duty to tell the truth. And what she represented as a black female, you know, and never compromising her art. So that would be the one that speaks to me the most.
Now, when it comes to this tour, what do you want people to take away from the tour?
Man,
and your music and just the album Eve. I mean, I could go on and on about it, but let's wrap it up.
It's just all about self-love, realizing who you are, who we come from. Never forgetting our DNA, as Kendrick Lamar say, that we are from kings and queens, our history. You know, to believe in yourself, that you are enough. Like, when you come to the show, we're going to have fun. We're going to get introspective. We're going to go to church. We're going to have healing sessions. It's just about, you know, tapping into everything that's a part of you and that being okay to display that.
Yes, woman empowerment. Now, we're about to leave. Now, this is my confessional hour. Top 5 questions. You can give me one-word answers. You ready?
All right, let's go.
All right. Even though this ain't a one word. But since this is Women's History Month, top 5 favorite women rappers of all time.
Oh, top 5. Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, Rod Digger, MC Lyte, and my last, Missy Elliott.
Yes. Biggest misconception about Rapsody.
Oh, man, that I'm just like this, what they want to say, conscious backpacker who like to sit and listen to Hamdu Allah and kiss trees and whatever. I'm fun.
Yes. I was watching your sound check. You're hella fun. Okay, dream collaboration. Who would it be? I think I know this one.
Lauryn Hill.
Absolutely. Yeah. Next question. Winning a Grammy or doing a duet with Lauryn Hill? Which
Lauryn Hill? Are you crazy? That is the Grammy. What?
That's the Grammy. Pet peeve. What's the worst? What's the thing that Rapsody hates? Pet peeve.
The hates? Man.
Can't stand it.
Pumping gas. I need to move to Jersey. Pump my gas for me.
Oh, that gas. I thought you meant bodily.
No. Pumping gas, put gas in the car. I hate getting out the car to put some gas in. I can't do it.
I hate it too. Now, sistersisvibe.com along with Women in Hip Hop. If you can, we're here. We talked about you coming up in North Carolina. We talked about your music. We talked about the industry. If you can, sum it up in one word, the state that you're feeling right now. Not a phrase, not a sentence, but one word that you're feeling right now. Headlining your old tour. What would it be?
Overjoyed. You said one word, so that's all the word I was saying. Overjoyed.
We love that. Y'all heard it here first, right here at womeninhiphop.com. Thank you so much, Rapsody, and that is a wrap.
You.
Bye.
Yo, PSA. Live from the streets. It's the one and only. What up, cuz? LA, representing. It's Rapsody, Jamla Records, Rock Nation representative. And you are watching Women in Hip Hop on Vibe.com. It's my LA lingo, cuz. Tune in. Hey.
All right, you guys, that is a wrap here on Women in Hip Hop. Oh my God, I had such an amazing time kicking it with my girl Rapsody. Listen, I'm about to go in here and check out the tour, and if she come to your town, y'all better go check it out too. All right, and don't forget to cop her new album Eve that is currently out right now, and it is killing it. All right, like I said, I'm about to go check it out, and I will see y'all guys right here next time on Women in Hip Hop. Bye.